So I would highly, highly recommend that to everyone. There's 3 tours, so they're probably going to fill up pretty quickly. The first tour is 12 to 3:30. The second tour is 1 to 4:30. And the third tour is 2 to 6. So that tour is $30 in addition to your Envision price. But there's snacks on the bus, and you get a tube of Renew. So it's kind of a no-brainer. Then the actual general session starts on Friday, January 18th, and finishes up on Saturday, January 19th. So the early bird prices are $69. And then if you get your $30 tour, you can do that all at the same time. And you're going to see a lot of details when you go in to register. So you're going to see everything you need. But that's the basics of it.
And then Vicki, tell them about the...
You're cutting out, Deni. We're not hearing you.
Oh, the registration for convention.
Okay. You also can go to www.asiaevents.com, or you can actually go to www.asiaconvention.com. Right now, you can register for $179, and that registration for $179 is from September 7th to October 1st of 2018, and it's going to be at the Rio All Suites Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. And those dates are Thursday, September 12th, 2018, including Saturday, September 14th, 2018. And when you go into ASEA events, the convention is at the very top, so you can easily find that. After you go through the registration, you'll see details of that event.
And if it opens up showing a higher price than $179, click to register anyway, and the price should readjust and show the correct price.
Thank you, David. Joanne just in the comments said, is Envision only for certain ranks? David,
no, we can all go. We've gone for several years. It's wonderful.
We look forward to seeing Joanne there and absolutely her team. You can start promoting it to your team. They can start enrolling as soon as they join. It's great. Thanks, Joanne.
Yeah, and Joanne, since your team is just really new, I see Rebecca here on the line. You guys were doing meetings this weekend in Houston. This would be a really great opportunity for you guys to come and tour the facility. For those of you who are on the line, have you toured the facility before? Raise your hand. Yeah, it's great. It really makes everything so much more real to you, where you can, it's not just a story, you can see where ASEA is made, where it's bottled. And so I really highly recommend that. All right, so go ahead.
Then on the tour, it's a great time to take pictures with people you'll never see. I met George G there, and he and I were just like, we're twin brothers. And we had a good time, and we took some pictures in front of some of the equipment. And then that post's great on Facebook.
They could post really great on.
Sorry about that. Yep.
So now I'm going to turn it over to Platinum Alyssa Favreau, who's also doing those fast forwards. You know, Eric and Kim, she's just trying to keep up with you guys is what she tells me. So anyway, Alyssa's going to share the screen, and she's going to show us some of the new forms that you are now going to be able to access in your back office. And of course, Kathleen Cavender met her soon-to-be husband on a tour. So you never know who you're going to meet on one of these tours for the production facility. You know, so anyway, so Alyssa, over to you, and then we'll show you where you can find these. And of course, they will also be on ASEA United, where you can always find the files as well. So Alyssa, over to you.
Well, I actually just checked my back office, and the forms are all there right now. So I'll just share my screen and let you guys know where they are all located. Let's see here. Okay. You guys all see the back office right here? Yeah? Okay. So all of these new forms are located under the business section in your library under the resources. And so if you click on any of the price lists or the enrollment kit, you will see that the list it'll show all of the prices for the ASEA Via. It'll show the preferred customer price. It'll show the retail price. There's the associate price list. There's also an enrollment pack flyer that is also available. So I actually went through this today, and I saw that the discount that we know that's available for the ASEA Via, if you purchase all three or purchase at least three of the combo, it is applied at the very checkout. So if people are weary of that as they're going through the process, they won't see that until they actually check out to pay. So it's the very last screen that they see to be able to get that discount for the ASEA Via products. So that is available if you purchase 3 of the ASEA Via products, or if an ASEA Via product is added to a redox, like 100 PV of the redox product. And so what I have done to leverage doing fast forwards with all the enrollments, and what I love is that we have something else to add to the to what we can offer to people. So something that I've done to leverage doing fast forwards is leveraging the loyalty reward point system in people's initial enrollment. And then if they get a initial enrollment of at least 400, over 400 PV. So if you'll see, like the ASEA Redox Business Pack is 400 PV. So if they were to get that, and then they were to add like 1 tube of Renew 28, that would get them, 425 in their PV for their initial order. And then if they're an auto ship for over 150 PV, that first month of auto ship, they'll actually be able to claim a free case of ASEA. So that's how the loyalty reward points work out. And so if you actually were to calculate that out, I mean, if you were on just 1 case of ASEA, I think it would take probably 5 or 6 months. So you can really leverage that in your business, as well as it'll help you to get a fast forward as well. So I actually have a video. This is not my idea. This was from Paul Tyra. You guys might have heard this a couple of times. So I'm going to post the video that he actually sent to me to kind of help to explain how to leverage the loyalty reward points. But it's a great way to really kick people off with a lot of product. What's great too is that they can add the ASEA Via products as well. And it's a great way to be able to do fast forwards.
Wonderful. Alyssa, how long is that video?
A couple minutes. Do you want me to show it?
You know what? Let's get through the rest of our announcements, and we'll see where we are. And Alyssa's going to go ahead, and I know we've already posted it there once. Perhaps it's been shared, but Alyssa, I think it's time that we actually, if you'll just share that again in ASEA United, because then you guys can tag your people. So those are where those new forms are. What I would highly recommend is that you print those off in a colored and have the choices as far as the new packs laminated, so that when you're sitting with someone, you can show them the packs. I know that in Spokane, Vicki and I are working. We're going to have them blown up kind of big so people can see them. Also have what I would recommend doing is printing off an enrollment form, highlighting the information that the person is going to need. Also have that laminated. So again, if you happen to be sitting with somebody, you can show them the information. I also posted a really great video last week by Ashley Ulrey, who was a new Platinum Associate, and great training on how they actually collect a decision by using those forms as well. So always great to have those forms with you. So the other things that are really happening right now, so we're really focused on fast forwards, because right now that we are able to talk about ASEA Via, which is so exciting to our product line, is now we have the loyalty reward points, and of course Ascent. Who wants to go to Ascent? I need to see everybody's hands up. Okay. This year, more than ever, it is attainable for you guys to get to Ascent. And so we've had so much fun. I can't believe that I've been able to be to so many incredible ones. And this last weekend at the Spokane ASEA Roundup, Hugh and Ann Jennings, who are Gold Associates, who are, I'm hearing, are on the brink of platinum this week. So, little bird told me.
Don't jinx me.
I won't jinx you. It's going to happen. And so they had a great story of how they've leveraged what they've learned, who they've met at Ascent. So, Ann, over to you.
Well, Hugh and I have had the privilege of going to Ascent twice now. We went to on the cruise to Bahamas last year, and then again to Los Cabos this year. And both events made us realize that this is the event to be at. And the reason is you walk away from convention and you look at all these people on stage, and you just, all these things go through your mind. And my perspective is, I want 5 minutes with that person just to pick their brain. And at Ascent, you get that. So here's just a couple of crazy examples that Hugh and I had, in that we showed up at registration, Love Fest as it always is, best family reunion I could ask for. And there's Dr. Maureen Hayes, who totally different line, totally different state. We met through the Advancing Life Foundation. We said, let's go catch up at lunch. She says, great. And she decides to bring along Terry Latham. Well, after last week's convention, you know what that would be like. So Terry was and Maureen were just having so much fun with each other. We got to know them on a really personal level, which was cool. And they gave us some interesting little business tips as well. Hugh hooked up with Ed Weens, who we've known also from Advancing Life and Pinehurst and whatnot. Ed says, hey, let's go tee it up and go play some golf. Ed put together 16 folks to play golf. Hugh had the privilege of riding in a cart with Chuck Gates for their whole round of golf. They had fun, no doubt about that one. But boy, there were some business building tips, just mindset changes, and just a different approach. While he was out playing golf, I was in the pool. Deni, you and I ended up having lunch together with 3 or 4 other diamonds, which was totally unexpected. I was hanging out with Bobby and Jerry Martin. They had a large contingency of Justin and I just went blank, Nicole and Justin Nicole's team from Australia. So we hooked up with Sasha and Julie. And what was really cool with that was Australia was built on Renew 28. So we got to pick their brain about how do you lead with Renew 28? Because a lot of times we get the objections, we can't afford it, we can't do this, whatever, I can't stand the taste of it, blah, blah, blah. So they were able to give us some tips, but they were also giving us some really cool testimonies that we hadn't heard before. So that was really neat, and it flowed right in later with the gene study that was released right after that. And then I think the most amazing part, many of you were at convention, this last couple weeks, and many of you heard Malcolm Swart talk about mindset. Mm-hmm. Well, nothing like having after dinner drinks with Malcolm Swart one-to-one. Mm. You know how Tyler talked about, is it personal or is it professional? Boy, that was huge. It gave us plenty of things to think about, plenty of thought to go to just come home with and implement. And then there's the fun of being on the putting green with Tyler and Jerem and Karen Riley, and just having fun. The one-to-one is great. I still also remember that they do different. The training is done in the one morning. Everything else is just fun. Do what you want to do. You can stay in your room if you wanted to, but please don't. That would be the waste of the whole efforts there. But Justin Wilson got up and talked about what you do duplicates no matter what. And you look at Alyssa and the Dillards and you go, fast forward, fast forward, fast forward, and talk about duplicating and what you can share with your team. So whether you sit in your room or go out and build a business, it's all up to you. I think it's going to be a lot of fun watching all you guys with those fast forwards on the leaderboard that's going to pop up next week. So looking forward to seeing you there. You get paid at rank, or not. You don't have to get paid at lifetime rank. You just get paid at the executive ranks, bronze through platinum, to earn points. We now have got 25 more weeks. So bite those little pieces off, get with your upline, go through a plan, figure out how you're going to get there, because it is so worth it. And make sure your passport's up to date, because you need a valid passport to go. So none of this last minute stuff. So we hope to see you there. It's really fun.
And thank you. What a great recap. And of course, at bronze, you get 2 points, silver 3, like 3,000 points to be, silver, 5 at gold, 10 at platinum. You get double points if you rank advance. So for our new people who've just rank advanced this week, we've got like Joanne just got an extra 2 points. When Ann and Hugo Platinum, they'll get an extra 10 points towards their qualification. So that makes it really exciting. Now, I always tell people the reason I love incentive trips, when I was young and doing Tupperware, what I often tell people is, even though you're going to earn this money, let's just say this prize is worth $5,000. You're going to earn that money while you're growing your business, but how many are going to take that money to go put it on a trip? Most people are earning that money to pay off bills or debt or kids or whatever it is. The fun stuff probably wouldn't happen. And so this way you're getting paid twice. I love it. I made a real goal when I was young that I was going to qualify for every single incentive trip, because number one, I knew that if I qualified for that, I would start to earn the income that I needed. And if I helped more of my team get to the incentive trip, right, I would make my incentive trip, the whole team would win, they'd make money, we'd have fun, and we would grow. So there's reasons why you as the leader want to be there. You want to lead from the front. You want to show the people that it's doable. Now, the first time for some of you who are newer in your business, you might just attain this yourself. But again, you're going to be there like Ann was and go, you know what, we can't come here alone. Who can we help take with us? And that's how you start growing in your leadership, growing within the ranks. And, again, you never get to these places by yourself. You can't do it by yourself. It's about having a team of people who have goals that they want to make happen. So I'm going to put a little heat on here for a second. Joanne, if you're still on the line, I don't care if you put your camera on or not. But again, you guys, something starts to happen. I always tell people, again, there's the day that you get into a SIA and the day it really gets into you. And so, Joanne, I remember it wasn't that long ago when it really got into you. Can you tell everybody how that shift started to change for you?
Okay, I don't have a camera, but I've got my phone. Can you hear me?
We can hear you fine.
Okay, all right. I'm still trying to figure it out. I came back in last February, and really for close to 6 months, ASEA felt like a chore to me. It was like I carried this cloak of guilt on my shoulders all the time for what I wasn't doing, but I really didn't feel like doing what I needed to do. And then a couple months ago, Rebecca and I went to Dallas to a quarterly event, and I came away from that more excited, started doing more of the things, but I was still having kind of good days and bad days about it. I remember one day Deni and I were texting, and she said, "Isn't this fun?" And I texted back and I said, "No, it's not fun yet." And she said, "Well, it will be soon." And it is now. Somehow in the last, a couple of weeks ago, not even 2 weeks ago, my husband got some amazing results back on his, can I be
I'd love you to tell everybody.
Politically correct here?
We can be very open. This is a small call, you bet.
Okay, so my husband was diagnosed with a type of leukemia called chronic lymphocytic leukemia 4 years ago. And it's a very slow growing kind of leukemia. Doesn't necessarily cause a lot of symptoms at the beginning. And so over the last 4 years, he's kind of addressed it with nutrition. He's never had any kind of medical intervention at all. The normal range for the total white blood count is 4 point something to 10.8. And Neil, for the last few years, has been hovering kind of up in this 14 to 17 range. And when it peaked at 17 point something about a year ago. And so anyways, he just had his annual blood test done about 2 weeks ago. And after 6 months on ASEA, his total blood count is down to 11.5.
Wow.
So he's very close to normal now. And that was interesting, but he's very much into nutrition, and he's been tracking things that he does. And I looked way back almost 4 years ago, and Deni mentioned that I was in ASEA once before and never did anything with it. Well, we did take it for a few months back then, and that was shortly after he was diagnosed. And at that time, after he'd been on it for 2 or 3 months, it went down to 11.2. So the 2 times he's been on ASEA, you know, his white cell count has gone almost to normal, and we're anticipating that it will be normal next time around.
Well,
So I kind of, we were excited about that, and last Friday, I took advantage of that. I finally decided to come out of the closet on Facebook and tell my friends that I was in ASEA because I hadn't done it so far. And so I created a post about Neil and his results, and all hell has broken loose. It's just been crazy. People are signing up left and right, and it is fun now, Deni.
well, it is fun. And like I always tell people, it gets a lot more fun when your focus is not just about yourself, it's about other people. As her team has started to grow, it's amazing. It's amazing what you'll do for other people compared to what you'll just do for yourself. And on that, I'm going to volley this over to Rebecca. So, fun story. Rebecca, you own a thermography. I mean, just tell everyone how you guys met each other.
Yeah.
And tell everybody why this made sense to you and why here you are as a young millennial. Why did you really want to engage with ASEA? You already came to convention. You guys are doing meetings. I love this, you guys. There's a bunch of cross-line in Houston, and they're all connecting up to bring validity and strength. I know that's what Ann and Hugh are doing also in Seattle. It's amazing what starts to happen. So Rebecca, over to you.
So what kind of drew me into ASEA, or got me excited about it, first it was personal reasons for helping a family member of mine that's really ill. It's my father-in-law, and he has multiple health conditions that got to the point where, you know, I have a more holistic background, and I wanted him to do, you know, natural supplements and supportive things, but I got to the point where he wasn't absorbing anything, and he wasn't able to process potassium. So we had to be really careful with what we could add into the mix with all of his medications and everything. And so when Joanne shared this with me, she's one of my clients, and she came in for a screening, and she started talking to me about it, and, you know, just knowing that it wouldn't interfere with his medications, and it was perfectly safe, and, you know, wouldn't stress his kidneys. And so anyways, I decided to give it a try. And I talked to my husband about it, and I was like, I don't know, this, you know, maybe it'll help his blood pressure, because he was going in the hospital and getting all these hospital bills, and they just couldn't afford all these medical bills. And so I was like, maybe if it could just help his blood pressure, then that would be such a relief, you know? And within 2 weeks, his blood pressure was normal, which blew my mind, because I have healthy people coming into my office all the time telling me that they can't get their blood pressure normal, and they're really healthy. So I was like, how did that happen? And then his inflammation has come down significantly to where he's gotten off a lot of steroids, and his kidney function is improving. And that was in like 1 month on the product, taking a small amount. I mean, we started him out small. So immediately I was kind of reassured that this is, you know, something legitimate. And then just knowing the residual income part of it as a business owner, I mean, my goal has always been to create income without having to be present in my business. And I haven't reached that point in my thermography business. So finding another stream of income that I don't have to be, you know, physically with someone to be bringing in income was huge for me. So it just really was exciting from a business perspective. And then knowing how it could help people, it's like, why wouldn't I be interested in that? You know, I mean, it's awesome. So.
Well, and you guys, and Rebecca's a director 700 and came to convention, and again, big decisions happen at big events, and these two were on fire. So that was exciting. And again, it's so fun to go to work with your team and watch their dreams just explode. And really, you guys, the train has left the station. If not this, then what? And if not now, then when? Because you have everything that you need to really get started. This is such an exciting time to propel your business. And these are some of the biggest producing months, in networking during these fall and winter months. So it's really a great time to go to work. All right, well, we've got just a few minutes left. I'm going to let Alyssa play that video so that all of you can see it. And then you can tag your team members, because the faster that you can get your people, I always say, either getting a return on their investment or making some money, the happier your people will be. And so if we can start to get them a free case of product after their first auto ship has come through, that is exciting. So Alyssa, if you have it, we'll play it. And I know she's looking for it over there.
All right, I think I've got it.
Here we go. And actually, Paul's going to redo this, guys. There's a little bit of background noise, but here we go.
Okay. Does everyone see the right screen?
Yep.
Yeah.
Talk about how to maximize the loyalty rewards program during enrollment and first auto ship. First off, the loyalty rewards program is a program that, again, is designed to help customer and associate retention, right? It's providing loyalty points each and every month for those associates and customers that stay on the product on auto ship month in and month out. I'm not going to go into the granular details, but basically, the longer you stay on the program, the more percentage of points you receive on your orders. And when you first sign up or enroll, you can start out at higher levels if you're purchasing more product. And if you have a bigger auto ship order for your first auto ship, then you're going to also get more points as well. So let's talk about all these. Okay, this is a common enrollment package, a business pack, generates 400 PV, costs approximately the $500 range. Okay, so let's say someone signed up with this for our example, and then they add a common auto ship order of 1 case of ASEA Redox, which generates 100 PV. Okay, what this would provide, loyalty rewards points wise, is you'd be at the 10% level. So you get 10% of 400, which is 40 points. And your auto ship points, because you have 1 case or 100 PV, you would get 20 bonus points after your first auto ship process. So total amount of points would be 40, right? And then after your first auto ship processes, you would add the 20 plus 10% of that auto ship order for 10 points, a total of 70 points after your first auto ship processes. Now, a month later, okay, your 100 PV auto ship processes, you're going to get 10% of that. So that would be another 10 points added to your previous 70. You now have 80 points total. Okay. After the 3rd month, again, you're at the 10% rate. So 10 points added to the previous 80 would put you at 90 points. Now in the 4th month, okay, you're now at the 15% level. So 15% of 100 is 15 points. Add that to the previous 90. You now have 105 points. So after the 4th month, you would be qualified to receive a free case of product. Now, if you just do a little bit here, call it a little bit of a secret knowledge, okay, but it's not really secret. You just got to kind of unravel a couple of layers. Basically, you can get a little bit, get a lot more. Do a little bit and get a lot more. So the same 400 PV enrollment package, if you just added 1 cleanser to it, one $20 cleanser, which would generate 14 PV, and if you just added 50 PV to your first auto ship order, and again, this is the new associates auto ship order, and that could be in the form of 2 bottles of ASEA Redox, or what we encourage you to do is have 2 Renew 28s, right? So they're making sure they're getting that product, they're experiencing that product for themselves as well. It's a total of 150 PV. Watch what happens. Okay, so the bonus enrollment points, 400 PV package, and then you're adding the $20 cleanser, which adds another 14 PV. Well, now you're starting the loyalty rewards program at the 15% level. So you're going to get 15% of 414 with the cleanser PV, So a total of 62.10 points, okay, just on your enrollment points, okay, 400 PV. Now, with the auto ship points, okay, by adding the 50 PV to the 100 PVs for a total of 150 PV, when that first auto ship order runs, okay, you, instead of getting 20 points, you're going to get 30 points. That's your extra bonus amount of points, okay? So let's take a look. Total points, 6210 on enrollment. Now, after your first auto ship processes, you're going to get 15% of the 150. So that's 2250 points plus the original 6210 plus your 30 bonus points. That would give you 114.60 points after your first auto ship processes. Guys, this is enough for a free case of product.
Okay.
Great. So did everybody understand that then? So again, it's just so easy. Again, what a wonderful way to help our people get more back really quickly. One last tip of the day I'm going to leave you with, and this has happened often, and I'm working with a CEO right now. Yeah, isn't that super helpful, Rupali? We'll post that again. Alyssa can post that, and you can tag your people. So what since everyone is so focused on doing fast forwards right now, sometimes you're asking your people to go ahead and enroll, and they're taking advantage of this incredible way to boost their loyalty reward points. But at time of enrollment, a lot of people are missing out on signing up for auto ship. So that's going to affect their loyalty reward points. And if you are doing a fast forward, it's going to affect your fast forward. So even today, all of you know you can go in your associate customer search and make sure that your people have set up an auto ship profile. I'm working with a company right now to, you know, in your team enrollments, when they come down and you can see when you've enrolled someone and how many cases they've come in, we're working on putting an asterisk there or maybe like an A for auto ship, so you know that your people have not only enrolled, but they've also set up a qualifying auto ship profile. But do yourself a favor, because I was talking to Sandy Mott today, head of customer service. 9 times out of 10 when people call and they say, my people aren't showing up on my fast forward, or I didn't qualify, it's because 1 or sometimes 2 of their people did not set up an auto ship profile. So again, make sure that you're coaching your people and that you're following up to make sure that they did, because we want you and them to maximize your earnings on that. So from Apollo, you can easily see that. What'd she say here? Alyssa, what?
In the binary tree report as well, whether they have an auto ship or not.
That's right. Okay. When they're lit up, right?
Yeah, when you select them in the binary tree, then it'll show.
That's right. So a couple different ways that you can take a look at that. So you guys, thanks for jumping on tonight. I hope you got some great tips and ideas. If you did not see Becky Cox's amazing webinar last week on ASEA Via, I would recommend you do. And just because you guys are in the know tonight, I'm going to tell you what we're working on. We are working on a new group that should be up in the next week. I'm working on it with Becky Cox and with Alyssa. We're going to have, just like we have ASEA Healthy Self, we are going to have a site that is really for testimonials on ASEA Via. So it will be loaded with all of the information on ASEA Via, how to take it, why it's important, and then we will start loading testimonials there. We're working on being able to link the 2 sites. What Alyssa and I have learned from other friends in the profession is that when you have a standalone product, it's important to have a site. And what's great about it is we'll have testimonials just that are from ASEA Via, and then testimonials that are from our ASEA Redox. That way people aren't getting them confused, because they are separate products. So you guys are some of the first to hear about that. We'll be talking about it more and adding you to those sites. But as you are starting to have your own experience with ASEA Via, please be writing them down. Be prepared to do some lives as well. And so those are your tips of the week. And we'll see you again. Alyssa, when's our next call? Let's see, Joanne, where can we see this question. Where can we see the ASEA via webinar? I believe it was posted in the back office, wasn't it? Anne, where's it at?
It's in the videos in the back office.
Perfect.
And the forms are under a different section, and there's a PowerPoint in there also.
Wonderful, great. And Alyssa, our next call is when?
October 8th.
October 8th. Now, you guys, I am going to be in Europe that night, and it would be very late for me. And so I'm going to be working with my leaders here, and all the bronze up to platinums here, they'll be facilitating the call, and I'm sure it'll be just a fantastic, great call for all of you, okay? So with that, everyone have a great week. Go out and bless a lot of lives, change a lot of lives, and have a lot of fun. Right, Joanne? Have fun. It's a lot of fun. So congratulations, everyone. Thanks for jumping on. Bye, everyone.
Thanks.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.